Okay, this week, so just a couple of things to show. First of all, there's this right-click context menu that I added to the GUI, which allows you to place or spawn new objects or entities, remove them, edit them, and so forth. So I'm going to place an actor here, which is just like an NPC. And right now, it's just a placeholder, obviously. Um, but and the little white line kind of shows what direction it's facing. Um, so I also added in collision detection, which is not as easy as it seems when you're dealing with voxels of this density. Um, and it's fairly accurate, down to a certain cell resolution. Let me bring up the grid. So you can see this is the grid that everything is generally constrained to for collisions, and it's also the grid that's going to be used for sort of the tactical aspect of the game, determining how far things can move in a given amount of time or turns. So you can see as I move into objects, the red region shows where it's colliding with that object. Right now I can move through objects, but I can't. I'm adding in code to prevent moving into objects, but right now it just moves through objects and shows where the collision is, which is good to test to see exactly what is colliding. And it's not constrained to things that are necessarily static, like this door. If I open the door, it should collide with these doors, I think. So as I move into the door, you can see that it is registering a collision with this red box right here. And if I close the door, that is no longer there. Also, the collisions also take into account destruction. So if I destroy an area here, just destroy this area with the door. So now, if I move the guy back through there, I no longer collide with anything in that area. And overall, collision is working pretty well right now. It was kind of buggy yesterday when I was streaming, but now it seems to be working properly. And it can also register different types of collision for different types of voxel data. So for example, if I go down into the water here, it should show, so where it's showing blue right here, that means it's colliding with water voxels. And of course that's constrained to the grid as well. So of course I could do more accurate collisions in screen space, but I need to be able to determine collisions when things are off screen. Screen space collision might be useful for things like particles or something where the effects of that collision don't matter quite as much, but I need to be able to have accurate off-screen collision calculated. So there's a lot of work just to get that going, and then this week I also did a whole lot of refactoring to kind of make things more compact. I deleted several thousand lines of code, just cleaning up things and moving all the entities into one basic type, which I should have done from the start. So now all lights, entities, objects, items, whatever, all fall under a basic set of properties, which is useful for a lot of reused functions in terms of determining things that are clicked on, proximity of objects to the camera, and things like that. So that is it for this week. Well, actually, one other small change was that I widened these doors. It's kind of a trivial change, but I widened the doors and windows a bit so that exactly two entities of NPC size can move through a door or window at once. Let me bring this up. It might collide with it regardless because it's not quite wide enough, but it looks like we can make it through there. Yeah, so two entities, can enter and leave through a door without running into each other. And actually, this bounding box that it's showing right now is a little bit bigger than an entity will actually be. It'll probably only take up two of these spaces, one for each foot, about approximately. So you'll see that when I tie in the character to this next week. And this coming week, I'm adding in stuff for just the basic camera movement, following the NPC around, ensuring the camera maybe doesn't get clipped by objects, and things like that. So that is it for this week. More coming up next week.